Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Kate, aka Wanderlusting Lawyer, here with another backpack review for you. Today I have the women's Mountainsmith Mayhem 35. This isn't a brand I really saw talked about a lot, but I did see one review on it and read a couple of really good things and liked kind of the layout of a lot of the features. So I decided to pick it up. One word about, if you're looking for this, as I mentioned in the intro video, there are 3 colors for the Mayhem 35, and this one, Huckleberry, is called the women's pack. So I'm not sure if the other 2 colors have different straps and waist belts. These do have the more S-shaped straps, so that's just one thing to keep in mind. If you do get one of the other colors, it might not be a women's specific pack, if that's what you're looking for. This bag is 35 liters and weighs 2.8 pounds with my weigher device. So it's right in that range that I was looking for. This one does not come with a rain cover, and is a little bit heavy without the rain cover. It's, like I said, it's 2.8 pounds, but I think that comes from this really heavy Cordura fabric. So even though it's a little bit heavier, it's supposed to be exceptionally durable. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe less so for the Camino Francés, but if you do a lot of hiking through woods and stuff where it might have a tendency to snag, I think this is really good fabric for that. So talking about some of the other features, it does have, we saw this clip on the Kelty Sierra. I like this clip. I don't know, I just don't like buckles for some reason as much, but it has a nice big stash pocket, this meshy fabric again, which I think allows for a lot of breathability if you do have wet stuff in there. You have the bungee loops for your trekking poles on both sides, so that increases the, I guess if you have one side that you'd prefer to have them on, that's a nice feature. You have a lot of, you don't have straps down here. Sometimes people like that if they have a sleeping pad to keep it external. You don't have that down here, but you do have a lot of loops and different attachment points here. It's a daisy chain on the front, so all of these come away and you can clip just about anything on here. All right, let's turn the pack around. So this is kind of a different pack than the other packs that I've seen. This one does not have a mesh overlay on it. It does have these channels to allow heat to disperse, so it's not full contact with your back, and it has this foam. Honestly, guys, it's a little bit scratchy. I would have liked to see them come in with a bit softer material, but keeping the sturdiness, I think they could have done that. It's not too, you know, soft here, but I think it does create for some good support on your back. And same goes with this mesh. I do like that it comes all the way around to eliminate any seam friction, but it's just not a very soft material. So if you're doing a Camino or a hike where you're going to be wearing several layers, that probably doesn't really matter. For me in the summer, I'll probably have short sleeves, maybe even sleeveless. So this is something that would be a little bit of a concern for me in terms of rubbing on my skin. Turning the pack back around, I love the access of this pack. So of my reviews, this is the first one that doesn't have the isn't a top loading pack in the sense of, you know, the lid that opens up and you shove everything down in there. This one is actually a zip pack. You do have to come in and undo these buckles. These buckles kind of create the stretchability of the front pocket, but they also do allow for some compression. So I guess feasibly you could leave them open if you wanted. These are just things to think about in terms of every day, what might be annoying for you, how quickly you want access to the pack. Honestly, it's probably minor stuff, but it's just good to bring up. So before I open the pack, you see you do have this one small zip pocket here on the top. You know, I don't know why they didn't really carry the zip around more, but it's not like you can't access what's in it. And you do have a key clip in there. So as you can see, I mean, the size is pretty decent. You can fit, I'll show you later when I load it, you can fit some stuff in there. And so to actually open the pack, you have 2 zippers this one stops right here. And then the other one comes down the side. So you have pretty easy access to this pack, as you can see. I think that's nice to get all your stuff in and out quickly if that's what you're looking for. As for a water hydration reservoir, this is an internal storage pouch. Kind of looks like a laptop pocket, but isn't big enough for that. So you'd have to keep in mind that if you want to use a reservoir with your stuff in here, I'm not sure how easy it is to get in and out. I guess just depending on how much you have it packed out. But then you have this clip. From what I understand, there are a couple different types of reservoirs, so you'd have to find one with a loop to clip on as opposed to something else. I think there are like different types of straps, but that's just something to keep in mind. And then I'll show you what this is for in a second. But yeah, you have a big, easy access point. The zippers slide fairly smoothly, not as smoothly as some other packs, but I think that's all related to the durability of the bag. And if you do have a hydration reservoir, what you would do is just route the tube out the side. I think it's only on this side. And then you could just put it through your straps to keep it kind of close to you. So I love that. It's funny how the littlest thing can make you like something the most. I love this little side pocket. You can, I think it's, because it's pretty, it's not super visible, so you could probably hide some stuff in there. And you feel safe about it being there, but it's just an extra little storage pocket. I like that. And it doesn't take up a lot of room. Alright, so yeah, let's load up this pack and then I can talk to you about the hip pockets. Actually, I'll show you now. This is something that also sold me on trying to order this bag. So I've talked to you guys about the fact that I'm really annoyed by a lot of the zippers on the hip pockets, how hard they are to open and then close. At the end of the day, I liked the fact that this had this stretchy mesh pocket secure at the top, so you can put a phone in. That's probably what I'd put here unless it were raining. And then you do have a zip pocket on the other side for stuff that you don't want to fall out. So I'll show you that a little bit more when I put it on. I'll also show you, actually I guess I should just show you now, you do have one vertical side pocket for water bottles, and it's actually really big. You could store an extra layer in here, or probably even if you had walking sandals or more collapsible shoes, they'd go in here nicely. And then this side, I thought this was going to be a great idea. It is one of those angled side pockets for water bottles, and you do have this bungee on it, but the severity of the angle has made it difficult to keep a bottle in there unless you pull the bungee open and close each time, which kind of detracts from the I guess the quickness of getting your bottle out and back in on the trail. But I'll show you that more when I put it on the pack. So let's load it up. So one thing to note, some bags like this have 3 zippers, which is nice because you can kind of zip from more points. This one just has 2, but I guess it makes sense because there is no bottom access point. And when I do my review on the Marmot Graviton, you'll see a little bit of how that one zips all the way down to the bottom. But as you'll be able to see, this is super easy to load up. Like I said before, probably when I get that big one and I start to zip it just to give it more structure to stay closed. But unlike with some of the circular top loading packs, I feel like these are just easier to kind of shove stuff into. And my almonds, can't forget those. So that's probably what I'd put in this top pouch. In the main compartment, I still have plenty of room in there, guys, so I'd probably be compressing down with my straps. Let me get this clipped up here. I like this front pouch. You could stuff like basically an entire outfit in here and still have more room. I've got my 2 extra layers in there, and then with this top pocket, Again, I don't know why they didn't carry the zipper around, but I guess maybe that gives it more structure to not flop open. I've got a guidebook, my Nook, and my inflatable pillow. Alright, so I will loosen these straps and get the proper fit on my back and talk to you guys about the fit and show you the hip pockets. So I do actually really like these hip pockets. I think they represent a good mix between, I guess, being substantial but not being overly structured. The one that I've showed you so far, that the Kelty Sierra, remember you saw the hip pockets like stayed flexed in against the bag. You had to kind of pull them apart to even get it on your hips. I feel like this belt is so comfortable. I don't feel any spots where it would be bothersome to me. They carried the mesh around here. I don't feel any seam down here. So I really do like the structure. To me, this is definitely, okay, the best way to describe it is it's more well padded, but it feels really cushiony and soft. Like I mentioned before, sometimes the cushion is not soft, and so I like a better mix, and this feels great. So, once I pull down the straps, now is where the problem starts, and I'll kind of kneel, or maybe I can sit to talk to you about this. So, these foam pieces on the back, the two of them that are right here, I feel them. And I think when you have a pack and you're going to be walking about 500 miles as I'm going to be doing, you don't want to have points that you can you just feel all day. I feel like it should feel like it's an extension of your body. And I don't know, the two that are near my shoulder blades, I don't think that's something I could get used to. If it weren't for that, this pack would be probably pretty much the front runner with the Marmot. I love how it loads. Like I said, the pockets, these are probably my favorite pockets of any pack. They feel, hip pockets, they feel amazing on my hips, as I've already said 5 times. But sadly, these foam pads at my back, they don't feel very good. I would love to see Mountainsmith create more of that suspended trampoline style back so that I just feel the one piece of mesh or really nothing against my back. So that's kind of unfortunate that I don't like how it feels right there. Now for the water bottle pockets, I'll show you guys quickly. You do have the one that's straight up and down. And in terms of pockets, I mean, it's still a little high. This one I actually can get in a bit more easily. So all they would have need to do is just create the pocket right here. It probably wouldn't have fallen out, and it could have gotten in and out a little bit more easily, but that one's actually better than in general. And then you do have the tilted pocket that I mentioned before, but it's just so tilted that I can see the bottle falling out on the trail without use of the bungee, and then the bungee is not easy to really access with one hand. So, I mean, that might stay. So this might be a good solution for you guys. But, you know, again, I would have put the angle a little bit more like that. Some of these things that seem small, but just would be easy to fix. Oh, and as for the pockets, so I've got my case here. I like this stretchy pocket. I think this is a great hybrid feature. So I'd like to see more packs do that, and that's something I really like about Mountainsmith. I guess I keep forgetting to do the chest strap, but I'll show you that. It does have your whistle on it. I don't know if you can see that because it's black, but there's the whistle. And it does have a good sunglasses loop right there, like I've said that I like. And as for the other pocket, the zippers work pretty well. This is an easier one to slide than most, so you know I'm appreciative of that. I've talked about that. You can fit in a granola bar, maybe 2. It starts to get a little tight. Maybe some chapstick, Swiss Army knife, give it a zip, and then I guess my phone battery I could probably put in with my phone. So this was the Mountainsmith Women's Mayhem 35. Again, in a nutshell, I love the hip belt. I don't like the placement of the foam padding on my back, but I do have broad shoulders. So if you think this might work for you, give it a try for sure, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.